Welcome to Koii webinar number 8. This is where we're going to go over KPL tokens, making your own token on Koii with Koii's programming library. So where we're going to go is to Koii.network. We're going to go to Koii.network/docs/KPL. That's it. I'll paste that in chat for anybody who wants to go there now. So welcome to KPL, or Koii Programming Library. Maybe it should be Koii's Programming Library. What is a KPL token? So we know about the library. It's just a bunch of code that helps you do something. But what's a KPL token? Why am I using the library? Basically, KPL tokens are our layer 2 tokens that anybody can create on the blockchain. It takes literally 5 minutes. We'll go through it in just a sec. We'll open up these two tabs here. Creating a KPL token is easy as pie. It's just hit these two buttons and we'll go through both steps. We'll start with the easy sandbox. If you want to check your token balance, you can always look at the Explorer with this URL here. And we'll notice that in the token creator, it's also going to kind of guide you. It's going to give you some links and stuff like that too. So something actually that is best practice is we like to go to our drive and we like to make a new doc. And we'll just call this something like, today we're going to make webinar tokens. Webinar token link. So I like to do this for myself so that I don't lose track of all the stuff that the Koii token creator gives me, like the minting address and all that. All right, so why KPL? I think it's pretty important to go over these ones just to get you familiar and comfortable with the real power of KPL and why we're pushing it so hard and why we want you guys to come out of this webinar here telling everybody about it and being really excited. So KPLs can be branded to specific projects and organizations. You can make your own KPL tokens. You can make your own brand. You can allow specific projects like you guys, your projects have more control over the supply and distribution. They can be used to represent ownership in a DAO. They can have their own farming and reward systems. Separate tokens means an independent market insulated from the activity of the other tokens. You can meet regulatory and legal requirements for specific use cases that Koii might not be designed for. Yeah, when creating KPL tokens, you will be able to pay the bounty reward in your token. So you can pay the network deployment fees in Koii. It's pretty minimal right now in Testnet, and then you can launch your own token. So let's do it. And then here's how to use it in the bounty for a task, and we can go over that just at the end. But let's jump into it. So in our easy sandbox, if you go to the link there, if you didn't use that link, and you don't want to have to every time, you just click Learn Easy Sandbox at the top here, start your lesson here. Lesson 6, you can scroll down to lesson 6 is using custom tokens for the task, or on this page, you can scroll down to the lessons here and click lesson 6, take you right there, creating a KPL token. Part 1, creating a KPL token. KPL tokens stand for the Koii Programming Library. It's programming library. It supports users in creating various fungible tokens, which can be used as rewards for tasks currently in progress. Like other tokens, they are interchangeable and divisible. What does that mean? Basically, this means you can make your own tokens. And we're going to go through the process now. If you want to know where your main system wallet JSON is, you can find the path here. You can kind of construct it for yourself. There's an OS specific path, which is I'm on Windows myself. So mine is users and then API from Koii, app data, roaming. And then we go Koii desktop node / wallets. And then you can get your wallet right there. I'll be doing the exact same thing here today. And if you're on another OS, you can find out these other locations. You're going to need this wallet to mint your token. That's basically all you need though. So once you go to this Koii token creator page, you can click create token. So we're going to need this JSON file. So let's just move this over here. Oh, I already had it selected. This is my personal testing wallet, for those wondering. So if you want to provide a link to your image, maybe it's hosted on GitHub, for example, you just got to click that. But we're going to go through the process of finding an image, maybe making an image. So let's do that. Let's do token logo creator. I've never actually typed that in. Here's an AI logo creator. Let's say webinar Web3 token. This probably won't do what I want it to do. Sure. Oh, wow. Actually, it did. That's really cool. Oh, it's gonna want me to, uh, okay. We're gonna delete that and delete that. We're gonna take this. I'm going to pop it into a paint program. Ah, it won't let me copy like that. Not too surprising. Instead, what we're gonna do is we're going to, on Windows, you can press Windows, Shift and S, press all those buttons down together, and then you can highlight and click over a part of your screen. You can take that. I'm just going to do that very quickly for this demo here. I'm not making money off this. I'm not planning on using this in a legit product. I'm just kind of making something really quick just to show you guys an example. So obviously, if you're using one of these services and you're taking something from their site, you should be paying for it. You should be getting the proper licensing, especially if you want to be doing this for your business. But for the purpose of the example, this is going to be just fine. So I'm just saving a file right now that is that thing with a very poorly done transparent background. We will call this webcoin. Great. And yeah. So I basically just made a token that looks something a little like this. I just basically copy pasted this template thing that it made here. I put it into a paint program. I just basically drew over it really quickly and sort of copied that pattern. You should probably spend a bit more time and effort making yours, but we will upload that picture. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like that. I strongly recommend, by the way, that you use a square photo for this. If you use a rectangle photo, the cropping might look really strange. So try and make sure that your whole coin fits into a square sort of cropping. So we're going to give our token a name. We're going to call it webinar token. Oh, can't be that one. We're going to call it K webinar. I like that. And it's going to be K Webin. K Webin is going to be the token symbol. So the token symbol, similar to like if you see us ever say Koii, well, right now we're making K Webin. It's just what the ticker symbol for your token would be. And then token description. This is a token for the Koii webinar. We will probably use it in building tasks for future webinars, and maybe even this one. All right, with all that, you can create your token. We're going to create a token created successfully, metadata uploaded to IPFS successfully, verification transaction sent successfully. It's going to load just a bit longer. And there we go. This is it. This is the new token address. So we can copy this. I'm going to paste it here. Token address. Paste it there. We're going to make sure that the highlighting is none. And please keep a copy of your mint address. You will need this when minting tokens. So please copy this. Please, 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 please. It'll take about 10 minutes for this to not say unknown token, but this is your minting address. Seriously, just wait. It'll take 10 minutes. And I promise it'll be set up. We'll come back to it in 10 minutes in this webinar here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can definitely scrub through. But this is essentially your coin right here. It has 0 current supply. And so we're going to fix that in just a sec. To give it supply, you're going to need at least 0.1 Koii on the testnet. Now, any coin that's made on testnet, any KPL token, will convert over to mainnet. So right now, the gas fee is basically non-existent, but over time, this will increase. So don't expect it to be this cheap. Yeah. I just created one. Wow. You're gonna mint yours after the call. That's awesome. That's great, guys. I'm so glad. Within this call, you're able to make your own tokens. So we're gonna copy this mint address and we're gonna mint some tokens. I'm just gonna drink some water one sec. Okay. Now we're gonna mint some tokens. So we're gonna need that JSON wallet again. Let's go back. Let's double click that. And we're gonna have to mint an amount. 10,000 seems like a fine amount. You're gonna pay gas every time you mint. So mint as many as you want. Koii, we have a total supply of, that's not 10 billion. We have a total supply of 10 billion. I think there's around 350 million circulating right now, but you can find that on our block explorer. If you want, actually, we can find it out together. We can go to Explorer. Oh, this is actually an example of a KPL token. Not what I meant to show you, but while I'm here, this is Pentagon Games KPL token. So it's KPen right there. It's kind of cool. Total supply 350 million right now. Pretty cool. So yeah. Let's see if we can refresh this. Okay. Well, we only waited 2 minutes. We'll come back after a bit more time. But let's mint some tokens. So, how much do we want to mint? Let's mint 100,000. That's a million. Let's mint a million. Why not? And now we remember we need to get that mint address. We need to send it. And now mint tokens. Oh, token account not found error. Let's go back here. We're in the Explorer itself. I'm just going to copy that. So I definitely didn't copy this correctly. If you get the wrong mint address for whatever reason, come back to the Explorer and just click copy there. When you copy this address from the page, it'll actually have the link in it too. So if you put it into docs just like I did, you'll have the link. Yeah, you can copy it from there and then it'll mint it. So now we have mint tokens. You have minted 1 million tokens to your associated account. Boom. With the signature of boom. Associate account link, token update link. We can click both of these and see what happens, which is pretty cool. So now we have 1 million total supply in our unknown token that hasn't quite updated yet, but it will soon. Let's copy all this. Let's put it in here. Let's make the highlighting white and let's make the background color clear formatting. Cool. Okay, let's just go back to this one more time. ND2. It's because it's a different font that's why. I have no idea. I must have copied a space at the end here, and that's why it didn't work. Can I mint on mainnet? You will be able to mint on mainnet your token. Like, yeah. Just the gas fee might be different. So, if you want to mint 10,000 now on testnet, you want to convert those 10,000 over to mainnet, it'll be a 1-to-1 ratio. So you'll have 10,000 mainnet tokens on mainnet. But then if you want to mint more tokens, maybe another 10,000, let's say, then you will have to pay the gas fees of mainnet. So that might be a consideration. That's why I minted 1 million now. I probably won't if we're thinking about webinar tasks and stuff, we're probably only going to be giving out about like 10 to 20 of these tokens every webinar, and they probably will have no value at all, just because they're a test webinar token. So I just minted 1 million, and that means I probably won't have to mint again. And that saved me some gas overall. Cool. So let's see if we can refresh again. I'm just going to keep refreshing until this works. I think we've only waited 6 minutes, but hopefully I want to see if it can happen before the 10-minute mark. Just for funsies. But yeah, so boom, we have created 1 million tokens. I now own 1 million of my own tokens, which is pretty wild. Pretty wild. Now you might be asking, but how do I put that into my task? So excellent question. Let's go over that next. We're gonna go to the task template, Koii task template, and we're just gonna go into our sandbox here and kind of play around. So to go into the sandbox on your browser, press the period key. That is going to open up a web editor. You can set up a GitHub code space if you want a terminal, but for now, we're not going to do that. We are going to go to config task.yml. Okay, so here, for example, you could have webinar task, author, at equals 4, description, example task, GitHub repo, webinar example 1. Now, I didn't actually make this repo or anything, and I'm not going to, but I'm just showing you an example of what this might look like for those of you who maybe haven't seen any of this. Image URL, I recommend just when you push your repo, just have a folder called assets, and then GitHub will actually host the images for you as long as they're a reasonable size, or if you pay for it. So put that URL there. Info URL you can kind of put whatever URL you want here. When you're trying to get your task whitelisted, which means what'll make it appear on the Koii page, basically, we won't let you use any malicious links. So we will be looking at this just to let you know. But you could put whatever you want here. You could put your own website, for example. Or if you're in the Koii Ocean program, which if you're making a task right now, you can apply for, then you can put that there. If you don't know what the Koii Ocean program is, it's our in-house accelerator. Right now, we have access to a massive amount of funding that we can get you guys. It's not just Koii, it's also USD. So if you have a business that you want to build on Koii and you want to get into that program, we'll give you priority developer support to make sure that your task gets out the door. We'll give you business development support from some really strong players in the industry who have agreed to help us out, including our own CCO Melvis, who is, he worked multiple years, I think 4 years at OKX, 4 years at Goldman Sachs. He has an incredible wealth of knowledge, and we'll take you all the way to your business being ready to pitch to investors. And we're gonna, once you're at that stage, we're gonna try and get you in front of real investors so that you can get real money, so that you can pay your rent, so that you can build your business. Awesome. Just wanted to get that little spiel out of the way. Yes, you do, Al. Yes, nice. I love to hear that you're interested in that. If you are, make sure you're on the Discord. Being active. If you want to apply to Koii Ocean, you always can by going to Koii.network, click the Ocean button over here, Ocean Accelerator, scroll to the bottom, make sure you've deployed a task, and then you can fill in the form. I'm available in Discord to help you get through all the steps to get through here. And I also want to point out East in the chat here. He is a successful candidate who got into the Koii Ocean cohort #1. And he is just absolutely rocking it, killing it. I'm very excited and happy to see what he brings when everything is all set up for him. I also wanted to shout out Madon, who recently actually just got some investments for his business on Koii. He runs Release Direct. So there's definitely a lot of options and opportunities. So I really recommend you you guys get ready to start building something. Yeah. Oh, thanks, East. I'm very glad. So let's go back to KPLs. How do I input my KPL into a task? So here in the config YML task, we are going to simply change the type from Koii to KPL, and then we're going to get our minting address. So we're going to go back to the Explorer. We're going to copy our minting address. We are going to put our address right there, and that's it. You're done. You've done it. Your task now gives out your bounty. Now you're gonna have to use the task CLI to update your task, or if you're creating your task, to create your task. If you're creating your task, you're gonna have to pay about a 16 Koii gas fee to update your task. It's much lower. Those prices sort of fluctuate, just to let you know. It's just what it is right now, which is September 12th, 2024. But yeah, you can set your bounty amount right here, bounty amount per round, allowed failed distributions. That's it. That's you actually have fully implemented your entire own token and tokenomics into a task. And that means we're gonna refresh and see if it's done. Woo! Look at us. K webinar. This is an actual, I'll paste it right there in chat for everybody to look at, an actual token that we have. There's a million of it. We owe, this is pretty cool. You can give out your token, you can do whatever you want with it. It's yours to build your community and your tokenomics. If you don't know how to build tokenomics, again, we're more than happy to give you as much advice as you need. Yeah. So if you're in the hackathon, it's that easy, man. It's that easy to implement a KPL token. And what's next? Right, yeah. So I mean, hopefully, you guys have gone through the easy sandbox, and so you know about submission, distribution, and audit. We know that here in the task is where stuff is where a lot of the magic happens. Some people don't know this little step because it's not in the easy sandbox just yet. But there's actually, I mean, there's a little bit about it in the easy sandbox, but we can do better. There's a little statement here in index.js that says if app, and this is where you can write your API. And so if you want to make endpoints on your node, you can do it right here. So for example, /value gets value, which is stored in the node. It's just going to console.log value. You could do something like that. Where are we getting value? Const value equals hello world here in task. And that's it. Bob's your uncle. You have, this hello world task, you could deploy it right now and it would start giving people, K webinar. And if we wanted to, we could go back to the config task YML. We could do something like type task variable value could be like email. And then if you follow the easy sandbox, which lesson? Let's go back to the easy sandbox. Lesson 3. Lesson 3, secrets and the task config file. If you go through both of these steps, you'll learn how to set up these in your node. See, it looks like task variable, Twitter username. I said email in mine. And then you can actually follow through, go to part 2 of the task config, and it'll actually teach you how to capture that. So if we go back, here we go. If we wanted, I could, in my submission, say, I don't actually know the context off the top of my head, but whatever we wanted to do, we could upload the data to my SQL database. For example, you do whatever you wanted right here. Put your logic in, and now you're capturing the email of everybody who runs your Koii node. Yeah, that's pretty. It's basically it. Oh, there's one last thing we want to do actually. We once we've minted our token, we want to connect to Finnie. Just click that once. It should open up Finnie. Sometimes it doesn't on browsers that are already open. We're working on fixing that bug. But if you restart your browser or you just manually open Finnie, you should be able to import a token. We should be able to type in kweb. That says no token found. Let's go back to our easy sandbox. Lesson 6. I think I know what happened, but I just want to show you what you guys would do if you got to this point. So you'll need the image. Boop, boop, boop. Minting tokens is simple. Afterwards, you can check tokens by clicking Connect Finnie to link your Finnie wallet and then select Fetch Tokens. So it looks like I forgot that step, which I did. So we're going to connect to Finnie. Again, this seems to not be launching. If I type in, hey, oopsies. Oh, shoot, I closed the tab. It's not what I meant to do. Import a token. Hey, webinar. There it is. Sorry. So it just takes a bit. If you click that Connect Finnie button, though, it will happen. And now we have this. We're gonna add that 1 million because it's associated with my account now. Remember that we used our staking wallet to our primary wallet to make this. So it's owned by us. And then we can confirm. Boom. Now it's in our wallet. Now when we deploy the task, now that it's in our wallet, now when we deploy the task, it'll work. Sorry, that's one step I did miss, and I apologize for that. You need to make sure that you import this into your wallet. But look at that, look how nice that looks. You know, we got this nice webinar token, K webinar. You know, I have 1 million K webin, which is really cool. That's super exciting for me. Um, give me one moment. Sorry, I just got a message. Yeah, awesome. Let's see if there's anything else. Let's go to deploying a task with KPL. I'm pretty sure we went over it though. Yeah, the deployment fee is determined by the space value in config YML. So if you're testing a task, you can set the space to 0.1, which will cost you about 7 Koii. If you're deploying to production, the space should be at least 1, which would cost about 70 Koii. So something to keep in mind. Boop. Set the values you want for minimum stake, total bounty amount per round, and this will be in your token, on Koii. And then in the config, you can change the type to KPL, mint address, token type, and now you can deploy any token. So we've done it. That's it. I don't know if there's an actual example here in the easy sandbox. Like usually we have like a exemplar here, but for lesson 6 we don't because it's actually just that easy to get going. Cool. I know we lost some steam here at the end just because I forgot about connecting to Finnie, but I think we ended up getting through everything. So thank you guys so much for joining webinar number 8. I think this one was a smashing success. We actually got an entire token minted in the process, and we get to see it in the Explorer, which I think is just fantastic. I think this will kind of inspire some of you guys to go ahead and make some yourself. Let's see if there's anything in chat. Nope, chat seems to be caught up. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining in. I'm really glad to have you guys here. Hope you hope you enjoyed the content. If you guys have any questions, oh yeah. Thanks. I'm going to do mine in mainnet. You're gonna wait for mainnet. I would do it now because it's gonna be a lot cheaper. But if you want to wait for mainnet, I can't blame you. It's gonna be a lot more exciting. It will be more expensive though. Just letting you know. Is there a way to change the logo of your token? I don't know if there's a way to change it. I don't know if there's a way to change it. Let's double check. Mint tokens, find metadata. Bind or update your metadata. Yeah, it looks like you can. You would have to upload your wallet file, personal testing wallet, upload a token, denied.png, mint address, token name. Hi, Paul. For the same amount of Koii to do that on mainnet. I have some amount. Yeah, for sure. If you want to wait, makes sense. There will definitely be a bit more hype going on. Okay, token name. Okay, webinar. Did I do it in caps? I did do it in caps. Okay, webinar. Hey, Webin. Token description. It's gonna force you to update the token description. So I probably won't go through with this process, but I guarantee you this is what will happen. I'm not sure if you leave a field empty, if that will update it, or if that will nullify it. I can get back to you on that though. Connecting Finnie. Oh, this worked. If you click this button here, it actually did work. Select wallet, connect, while it's connected, fetch tokens. Well, this is supposed to populate with your tokens. But there might be some small bugs with this. But Finnie's working, as you can see. It populated my new K webinar token. I got some fire here. I have some Koii. I have some K pen, and I have some bird. I love bird. Awesome. You know, something I might change about K webinar is I might put the $sign in front of it or something like that, just to make it look a bit more legit. But yeah, I guess Koii doesn't have our $sign in front of ours either, but I wonder if the desktop node handles that. Let's double check. I'll give you the info front. No, it doesn't. Interesting. So yeah, my what I would do for my own token personally would be add the $sign. I guess Koii is my own token, so maybe I should do that. Oh, Ali made a token. That's sweet. Awesome. We'll keep refreshing this until it works. There's a refresh down here. I don't know if the refresh down here will actually grab a new updated photo though. I actually almost guarantee it doesn't. Uh, we'll come back to this. I'll keep refreshing this. In the meantime, does anybody have any questions? I think I'll call the webinar here. But for now, thanks guys so much for showing up. When is mainnet launch? Honestly, we don't really have a hard date. But it's going to be sometime around the end of Q3 or Q4. Right now, the market is in a low state, as you could imagine right now, mostly because a lot of our competitors are going down and Koii is going up. So that creates an interesting situation for us where we want to just time the market perfectly. And if we do that right, then everybody wins. Especially you guys who are holding a lot of the tokens right now. I mean, Koii ourselves will have a vesting period and stuff like that. Competitors, everybody in the DePIN ecosystem. Literally everybody in the DePIN ecosystem. A lot of people, everybody in DePIN right now, their problem is that what they're doing is they're often on the back end using AWS or they're using an existing service or server. And that ends up making DePIN a very costly endeavor. And so a lot of the reasons that we're investing into that kind of stuff, right, is because we see that DePIN has a lot of face value, but if we're ultimately relying on centralized services, then the cost will never make sense. And kind of where that's kind of where Koii comes into place. What are some examples? Dfinity, Filecoin, Arweave. We've partnered with Arweave actually because they're going to start moving over to our system because it's better. Helium, IoTex. IoTex is actually going to be moving over to us because we're better. just a few names. DPIN, DPIN, decentralized physical infrastructure networks. The goal for Koii, right, is that we're going to be the only DPIN if we do DPIN right, because we're going to be the DPIN that has access to an actual decentralized solution. We're not relying on Amazon. We are using your guys' computer. You guys are all running nodes, I think. I hope. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going to convince you to do it right now. But you're hopefully running a node. We're using your computer. We're not relying on Amazon. We're not relying on Google. We're not relying on Facebook. We're not relying on Microsoft. Yes, we do use some of their services. I love Google Docs. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to be using them to, you know, I don't want to have to rely on them to have cloud compute because it's just so expensive. And this is what all the other DPINs are doing. They're relying on these big cloud compute companies, and they're trying to deploy nodes to compensate for that. But ultimately, a part of their pipeline relies on AWS. So that's what's different about Koii. We are truly a decentralized physical infrastructure network. IPFS runs on your nodes, and we're actually making an IPFS task with IPFS coins to coordinate that better. We have the Twitter task that's running on your nodes. We have the databases. Those are all sort of running on your nodes. And I mean, yes, there's probably companies that are taking all this data. Everybody who works with Koii, they might be doing something else with it, like on their own centralized networks. But the heart of Koi's pitch is that we'll be the true decentralized physical infrastructure network. We will be the actual decentralized cloud compute network. Can I deploy my game to run on a Koii node? Yes, technically, yes, but you have to the games have some architectural considerations that you want to keep in mind. So like for example, is it a multiplayer game? Is it a browser-based game? Uh, those kind of things take extra care. But if what you're saying is, oh, there's also two ways. Like if you mean can people download my game, like just like I go to Steam, I want to get the game on my local computer. You can do that off Koii too. Oh, HTML5 like Telegram minigame. Yes, you can absolutely deploy that on Koii. I don't have the time right now because this webinar is going to be over in 5 minutes, but I can quickly share. Uh, just let me open a thing on. This is Koii Tech which is a HTML5 Java-based browser game. So in index.js, in the if app statement here, we have I've set up the Express app to serve a static file, and then essentially essentially I have a bunch of endpoints here that the server can hit, like for example, server made move, server reset, join game, create game. And then in a client.js file, I have pull server for updates. So what this does, and I can drop this here in chat if you want this. What this does is it basically every 100 milliseconds it pings the server. Yeah, no worries. Every 100 milliseconds it pings the server. So the server is the Koii node. The client is my browser. Every 100 milliseconds, it's going to hit the Koii node, whichever Koii node I'm connected to, and it's going to ask for an update. And so this is just tic-tac-toe. I'm going to be releasing this as a tutorial, like hopefully in the next few weeks. So this will be very applicable to you. But for now, yeah. Essentially what's happening is, oopsies. Essentially what's happening is every 100 milliseconds, it's going to hit the Koii node. It's going to ask for an update. Can I run this? Let's do prod node prod debug. It's yarn prod debug. Okay, sorry. I don't have enough time to properly set this up as an example. I was trying to show how it worked, but essentially, yeah, you'd be able to go to localhost /task/ the endpoint that you made. which is game in my case. And then yeah, you'd be able to run the local version of your game. And then if you got whitelisted on Koii, which means we're going to go through your code to make sure it's not doing anything malicious. If that gets approved, then you will have your own actual URL, and then you can set up your own domain and routing and stuff like that. What is Koii money? Do you mean the Koii token? Do you mean this guy right here? That's the Koii token, which is our native token. So what this is going to do on Mainnet is you're not really going to be able to get it through tasks anymore. I mean, you can mine it through validator nodes, or you can purchase it on our DEX, but really this is our gas fee. So everything that happens on Koii on the layer 1, you pay with Koii. And then anything that happens on your layer 2s that you guys build, you'll pay with your own native tokens. How to convert Koii tokens to dollars? Essentially, when we go mainnet live, we'll have a DEX, and you'll be able to go to that, which means index. I'm almost positive it means index. Decentralized exchange. Wow, I really got that wrong. It's an exchange. Anyway, we're gonna launch our own exchange, and then once you're able to hit that DEX, you'll be able to buy and sell Koii. Will I get dollars into my PayPal account? You'll be able to convert it to USDC, which is a digital coin backed 1-to-1 with the US dollar. We're working on something called USDK. Yeah, USDC is amazing. We love it, and this is probably where we're going to use the sort of like when you sell Koii or whatever, we'll probably be trading largely in USDC for the most part. Eventually, we're going to support something called USDK, which is going to be Koii's version of it, like USDK. You can actually probably see some in my accounts. Oh, maybe I don't have any. We're testing it out, but USDK is going to be how Koii basically will create an integration so that maybe you'll be able to pay with PayPal and stuff like that. I don't actually know. Like I'm not 1,000% certain exactly how that'll work, but USDC is going to be an option, and USDC can be converted to USD through they have their own solutions, and they're on a bunch of other dexes. It's pretty easy if you just type in, how do I convert USDC to USD. I don't think I'm supposed to show you that in the webinar, because it's not a Koii product or something like that. But yeah, Ali loves that coin. I love it too. Love the Koii project. We love you too. Thank you. Glad to have you guys here. All right, guys. I think we've hit the end of our time here. Thank you so much for showing up. I really enjoyed you guys being around. Hope you guys feel inspired to make some KPL tokens and some KPL tasks. Remember that if you want, you can deploy a task right now in the time it took for us to do this webinar. So 1 hour, by just following the webinar, downloading that task template, setting up your own tokens, right? Once you've done that, put it in to, I'm trying to find the easy sandbox. Once you have the task template, go to lesson 6, put your new token in, go to lesson 3, create an email capture form. Okay, then go into your submission, remember if we go to the Koii task template, we go into, not test, we go into task, we go to submission. Within your task, capture that email and send it to wherever you want it to go, and boom, you will have an email funnel right off the bat. And I guarantee you in your first week, you'll get at least 1,000 emails. I almost guarantee it. So yeah, if you want to set that up and have that done in literally an hour, maybe 2 or 3, because you're going to be new at it, you're going to be walking around, I suggest you do that. I'd do that right now. If it were me. And I'll be available in Discord if you have any questions, if you want to do this. And yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to end the webinar here, but thank you very much for joining.